Facebook fam. Happy Thursday. Yesterday, I posted in the group and on my personal, actually not my personal, my business Facebook page about the mug I found in my Airbnb here in Golden, Colorado. And the mug said, "Kiss me, I'm dieting." And I shared how that mug really resonated with my past and how I have really struggled with not just dieting, but also just like my own body image in the past. And I really wanted to hop on today because I know a lot of you here in the Facebook group and even on my own public page probably resonate with that or have had experiences in your past or you're struggling with that right now. And I want you to understand that I've been there. I know exactly what you're going through and I know exactly how you can get out of it. And so what I want to do today is share with you my very personal story of how I overcame my own negative self-talk, the mean girl inside of me that I had to really kind of shift my mindset and get out of the dieting mindset and into living with food freedom, which is something I always talk about here in my Facebook group because it's something very important to me, has liberated me from those negative body images, and it's something I help my clients with for their weight loss and health goals. So honestly, guys, I wanted to really hop on here today and just tell my story, but being the writer that I am, a lot of you know I taught English for 10 years, I ended up writing out my story, and I really tried to not so much memorize it, but just really be able to just tell it to you straight here. But I'm actually going to, hey Veronica from Texas, awesome. I'm actually just going to read you the story that I wrote for a few reasons. One, I don't want to leave out any details that are, maybe embarrassing that I might omit if I'm just talking to you, because I want to be fully vulnerable for you guys. And number two, I don't want to start crying. While it's written, I'll just be able to be more straightforward. If I just start talking, I'll ramble or cry. So I'm just going to read to you exactly what I have on my heart. And this is something that I've been really compiling over the last couple days. So I wanted to share this with you guys. So I'm going to be reading from my computer, so don't hate me too much. But this is me, okay, live and in the flesh, and I hope this resonates with some of you guys, okay? So here's my past. As a kid, I never liked my body. My sister, my mom, my dad were all long and lean. My sister's nickname was Gumby as a kid, okay? And so were all my gymnastics and soccer player friends. And I was never like them. I was never long and lean. My dad would tell me, "You don't have to finish your plate." My stepdad told me I had thunder thighs. So this just got me into a dieting phase by the 8th grade is when I really started to watch what I ate. I counted calories on Post-it notes and would leave them by the cookie jar. I made sure I burned more calories than I consumed. I ran twice a day and did calisthenics. I stole my mom's Thigh Master, the Suzanne Summers little device, and I would do that while watching TV and before I would go to bed and when I woke up in the morning. I started running track and fields in high school because I wanted leaner legs. That was my only motivation. Did it help me to lean out? Yes, but I was still terrified to eat certain foods. In fact, I wasn't allowed to eat certain foods. I wasn't allowed to eat cookie dough. I used to try to sneak cookie dough out of my fridge and my mom would yell at me. I loved frosting, the Pillsbury frosting right out of the tub, and my mom would yell at me and throw it away. When I went to college, because I was so deprived of all these foods as a kid, when I went to college, my first year at Penn State, go Nittany Lions, I ate all of these foods. Okay, I never deprived myself of any of the sweets that I missed, but I worked out like a crazy person. And what ended up happening was I became insanely addicted to sugar when I got to college. Okay, my diet overall was like salad, chicken, trail mix. Right, so I tried to be really healthy there. That's what I thought was healthy. But then I drank a ton of Diet Mountain Dew. I ate lots of peanut M&Ms, ice cream, and cookies. I would get those big cookies from the dining hall. There was a little bakery down the street that made little personal cookie cakes. I would do 3 or 4 of those a week. Freshman through senior year, I was addicted to sugar. Okay, I had no balance in my life. Like I said, chicken and broccoli, or just like binging on sweets. I wasn't very healthy, but I worked out a lot. Okay, so I thought that would X out all the bad foods I was eating. So, and then once I turned 21, okay, in my senior year of college, forget it. I drank everything in State College. Even though I worked out a bunch, I gained a lot of weight. Okay, So in college, bottom line, guys, I was deprived of so many things as a kid that I went buck wild as a college student. And once I graduated from college, I knew I was not in a healthy place. And I knew that I had to get my life back. I knew it was really important. So I started student teaching in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I knew I had to be some kind of role model, right? So I stopped drinking a lot. I never had like an abusive relationship with alcohol, but being 21, 22, I was always out and just not making healthy food choices. So I stopped drinking a lot when I started student teaching in Pittsburgh. But my relationship with food was still very much this all or nothing, right? So I was still eating chicken, broccoli, egg white salads, and nuts, but then I was still binging on sweets, gummy bears, Monster Trail Mix from Target, still those peanut M&Ms. Okay, two diet Mountain Dews a day. I had to be at school at 6:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. I didn't sleep very well, terrible sleeper, and I didn't like coffee, so I drank a lot of diet Mountain Dew. I had no balance in my life. I just assumed that crazy exercise would keep me skinny. Okay, and while that, I did that for a long time. Deep down, I knew that what I did in my 20s would not last into my 30s, right? Or a relationship. This was a single Kristen. Okay. I met Alp, who's my husband now, when I was 26, living in Arlington, Virginia. So about 4 years after I graduated college. He was very much like me. He had this all or nothing mindset when it came to food. He binged on burgers and beers on the weekend, or he didn't eat any of that bad food during the week. Okay. But he didn't like exercising like me. So he was never like a gym rat like I was. That's where we differed. But we went out on lots of dinner dates, and we still do to this day, which is why I love food freedom. And we ate all kinds of cuisines. So I finally had some variety in my diet. So for the first time in my life, I ate more than just chicken, broccoli, egg whites, and trail mix. Okay. And while our relationship got stronger, my waistline grew wider. I gained 20 pounds while dating my husband for just a few short months. Literally went from 130 to 150 in like 2 or 3 months. It's crazy. And even while I was running around DC and I was lifting weights 3 or 4 days a week, I was a competitive runner at the time. I did lots of half marathons. I was actually training for the Marine Corps marathon at the time. So I was super, super active, but it didn't matter because my nutrition was just like all over the place. And I had this really terrible diet mentality. So over the course of a few years, I resorted to cutting carbs and overtraining, injuring myself to lose weight, right? And then once I lost the weight, to maintain it, right? I never really found balance in my life. And while it worked in the short term, it never lasted long term. In 2014, we moved to Delray Beach, Florida, which is where I know a lot of you guys here in my group. And I started working at a gym as a group fitness instructor, part-time, just to help me pay for my wedding. We got married in Key West, Florida the following year. And I was still a full-time high school teacher. I taught at Boca Raton High School. So I was working crazy days. But I really loved working in the gym. And I was already super into fitness, as I've talked about throughout this video. But the women I was surrounded by in this small group gym, they were perfect. Okay, these were bikini competitors, a lot of them, right? So they all ate super clean, they worked out hard, and they looked impeccable, just like dream body, okay? And I trained just as hard as they did. I actually trained a lot of them. They took my classes, but I personally lacked the discipline in the nutrition. I knew they didn't have margaritas on the weekends, and I love myself a good margarita. I got this shirt from Target. I'm obsessed with Target tank tops and margaritas. I knew they didn't have ice cream and cookies on the weekends like I did. I wanted to look like them, but I didn't want to do what they did all the time. Right before my wedding, I actually tried this 2-day cleanse, something they did every week during their prep. So it was 2 days, no food, just water and this powder for 2 days. Okay, I tried that. I remember it was a Monday and a Tuesday, and I was teaching at the time at Boca High. And after 12 hours of a brutal day with 10th graders, I ended up at a Jimmy John's on my drive home from school. So I had fasted for 12 hours on this liquid, and I ended up starving. And Jimmy John's was the first restaurant on my way home. So I grabbed a sub, okay, or the biggest sub they had. It was an Italian sub, and I called my fiance up and I just said I caved. I'm eating an Italian sub. And guys, like I didn't even really eat Italian subs. Like I was always like a turkey provolone kind of girl, and I just ordered Italian sub. I was so freaking hungry. Um, so that was my last liquid diet for a couple of years. And then I did another one 2 years later for medical reasons this time. I had a massive candida overgrowth in my gut, okay, which in candida, guys, is a yeast, right? And a lot of times we get this massive candida growth from over-consuming sugar, a lot of other carbohydrates, alcohol, caffeine, all these things can lead to candida overgrowth. I had some other health issues. I'll do a whole nother video on that. But I had to kind of clean up my gut. And so I did that. I did a whole liquid cleanse. It was 5 days. And I lost weight, of course, but I also did like a 2-day cleanse with that. And I gave up dairy, carbs, sugar, alcohol, caffeine, and pretty much like my social life for 22 days. I remember it was my dad's 60th birthday up in New Jersey, and my husband and I flew up, and my stepmom threw this amazing party with all this great wine and Italian food. And I couldn't eat any of it because I was on this cleanse, this diet. And I was so like resentful. And I mean, I looked thin, yeah, but like it wasn't worth it to me. I couldn't enjoy my dad's birthday. Like, terrible. And I flew. How much money I spent to get to this party, I couldn't even enjoy it. And at that point, that's when like the light bulb went off, and I knew I had to find a better way to manage my health, my weight, and just my love of food, right? Because I'm Italian and Puerto Rican, I love to eat, right? My husband's Turkish, so we love food. And that, my friends, is how food freedom was born, and really all the things I talked about now. I knew I couldn't do another diet again. My husband and I are too much of foodies, okay? We love to cook at home, but we love to go out. These days, like, I never pass on a good margarita or three, okay? Hence my shirt. I eat chocolate every single day. Ice cream, my absolute favorite. I'm gonna talk about ice cream here tomorrow in the group. I live to eat and I eat to live. It's not one or the other, it's both. And this is what I mean when I talk about food freedom, okay? I get to choose what I eat because I know how I can lose and maintain my weight by eating all of the macronutrients, eating all the things that I enjoy and my body can tolerate. So when I look at that mug, Kiss Me, I'm dieting. I should have brought it out with me, I forgot. I'm so grateful for where I've been, in my dieting past, because it makes me appreciate my life so much more now, okay? And that's how I want everyone in this group and everybody that I interact with to feel the same. I want everyone to feel as liberated as I do, because for 3 decades, you guys, okay, I felt so trapped, and I'm so happy now that I'm not, right? So I am so grateful for today. And I want you guys to be so grateful for today, because today is the day that you can decide to make a change and to learn about food freedom and to let go of that dieting mindset and create a new mindset. Focus on what you love. Okay, for me, it's margaritas. I don't focus on margaritas, but I do focus on, eating the foods that I enjoy. And most importantly, focusing on health and happiness. Okay, that's like the most important thing. That's the Holy Grail, right? So if you're ready to ditch the diet mindset, and enjoy the journey of creating this anti-diet mindset and anti-diet lifestyle and build a life of food freedom, I want you guys to comment below right now, okay, I'm ready for food freedom. Kristen, I hear you. I've got you. Let me know that I'm not alone in this feeling. That I'm not the only one that appreciates food freedom. You guys, like, I can't even express to you how life-changing this has been for me. And even just being a personal trainer, group exercise instructor, like, there's so much pressure to look a certain way. And this is also part of my story, and I've always felt the need to look perfect. And a lot of times I feel like I have to be perfect. And food freedom is not about being perfect. Okay, that's not normal. That's not a healthy, balanced lifestyle. So I'm not perfect, okay, but I do have food freedom, and I am able to maintain my weight, and I help others do the same with my strategy. Okay, I'm able to eat the foods I like because I have strategy, And that's something I never had for all those years. I followed everyone else's strategy: cleanse for a week, cleanse for 30 days, don't eat this, eat this. Like, oh my God, you guys, it like ruled my life. It was awful, awful, awful. And I'm so happy when I found that mug in my cabinet, because I don't have that mentality anymore. And I don't want you guys either too. So Veronica, awesome. I know you want food freedom. Good. I'm not the only person, guys. Community's everything. So I want to make sure that you feel the same way. Okay. And I hope this story inspired you. Okay. To let you know that I've struggled just like so many men and women out there. Okay. And truth, like a lot of times we see people that are fit, that are skinny, and we assume that they're naturally that way and they've never struggled. And I want to tell you that I've struggled so much, and I would continue to struggle without my strategy. And I know so many women, okay, and men, I should say, that look amazing. And I know they struggled, right? And they work hard. So be kind to each other. Don't make assumptions about people. Okay, share positivity, please. Okay, and know that we're all in this together, and all of you can have food freedom just like me. Okay, and just like the people that you see in my group that are doing so well. All right, so I want you to know that I'm with you. I'm here to support you. I hope I can help you at one point in time, right? So comment below if you want any extra help from me. You can send me a message. Kristen, I want to learn all about food freedom. Veronica, I'm glad you liked my story. Awesome. Yeah, you guys have an awesome, awesome Thursday. I'm actually off to talk to a few people that I'm working with right now to help them on their food freedom journey. And I hope I'll talk to you all soon. All right, bye.